All right, everybody, we're gonna call the meeting to order at 10:02 a.m. Ken informs me we have a quorum, which is terrific. We're going to dispense with member introductions. We did that at our last meeting, and folks can see who's on the call thanks to Teams. So I'm going to go to the next order of business on the agenda, which is the one thing we really need to accomplish today, and that is the election of the new chair. So Ken, I believe we called for folks to raise their hands, and who do we have that's raised their hands to be considered for new chair?
No one yet.
Okay. All right. Well, let me then let me nominate someone, and then I would entertain nominations from the floor. I'm going to nominate our current vice chair, Skylar Zunk. And of course, Skylar's the opportunity to decline this honor, but so Skylar, let me first ascertain, would you accept the position if nominated?
I'd be happy to. Thank you, Clena.
Okay. Any further nominations for the board's consideration from the floor? Hearing none, I would entertain a vote now on Skylar as our new chair, moving up from vice chair. All in favor, say aye.
Hey, Clena, I do think
Sorry.
we need to do a voice vote.
Okay.
Because of FOIA.
Very good.
I think we just need to go around, and whoever is in favor, say their name and
very
yay or
good. So
nay.
let me go through the roll then. So I'll say aye, and then Paul Duncan.
Aye.
Rumi.
Aye.
Michael Walsh.
Aye.
Joanne Webb. All right. Skylar.
Aye.
Greg Habib.
Aye.
Colleen Lucan.
Aye.
Catherine Bond. Michael Herbert.
Aye.
Chase Counts.
Aye.
John Hillis. Harry Godfrey.
Aye.
John Ackerman.
Aye.
Angela King. All right, let me circle back to the folks I missed in case they join later or we're having trouble getting off mute. Joanne Webb. John Hillis. Angela King. All right, so I count then for the ayes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ken, is that sufficient?
It is for me.
All right. So congratulations, Skylar. Glad to have you on board. Now, this does, of course, create a vice chair vacancy. And, you know, we're under our bylaws and just proper protocol, we should have a vice chair as well if we can. Is anyone willing to be considered for vice chair?
I'll throw my hat in the name. This
Paul?
is Paul.
Paul Duncan. All right. Any further nominations from the floor? Okay. Hearing none, we're going to go through the same exercise on voting for Paul as vice chair. So I'll go first. Paul.
Aye.
Rumi.
Aye.
Michael Walsh.
Aye.
Joanne Webb. Skylar Zunk.
Aye.
Greg Habib.
Aye.
Colleen Lucan.
Aye.
Catherine Bond. Michael
Aye.
Herbert. Oh, thanks, Catherine. Michael Herbert.
Aye.
Chase Counts.
Aye.
John Hillis. Harry Godfrey.
Aye.
John Ackerman.
Aye.
Angela King. Very good. The ayes have it. So congratulations to Skylar and to Paul on their new roles on the authority. So that was the biggest business we had to accomplish. The next order of business is the approval of minutes from our April meeting. As Ken pointed out, they were a little more detailed because you had a lot going on in our April meeting. So first, for the minutes as distributed by Ken, are there any corrections or updates to the minutes? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as distributed.
Seconded.
So moved.
All right, Ken, do you have the first and the second?
I didn't hear who the first was.
I'm happy to make the motion. I didn't catch who seconded it.
So Skylar's the first motion, and Ken, you have the second?
I do not.
Who's the second?
I think it was Michael.
Michael.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
second.
Very good. All in favor, say aye.
Again,
Aye.
I think we need to
Aye.
do a
Oh,
voice.
you need a voice vote.
Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, I'm an aye. Paul? For the approval of the minutes?
Aye.
Rumi?
Aye.
Michael Walsh?
Aye.
Joanne Webb? Skylar Zonk?
Aye.
Greg Habib? Colleen Lucan?
Aye.
Catherine Bond?
Aye.
Michael Herbert?
Aye.
Chase Camps?
Aye.
John Hillis? Harry Godfrey?
Aye.
John Ackerman?
Aye.
Angela King? Very good. So we've gotten through the parts of our agenda that required a quorum. I really appreciate folks meeting again so soon after the April meeting and getting this important business of the authority done. The next up on the agenda is administration guidance on annual report preparation. You will be grateful to know that we are now have guidance that limits us to no more than 5 to 15 pages describing board activities. Further guidance is that we confine the report to and this is general guidance provided to all, but it certainly applies to us. The report should be confined to relevant board activities as described in our legislative charter. They shouldn't contain non-board related material such as descriptions of regulatory legislative developments that did not actively involve the board in question. And the write-up notes that when there are non-board related sections in a report, the agency or secretary's office may elect to remove the sections rather than employ resources to review immaterial content. And then the further guidance is that reports should reasonably describe board activities without being overly detailed, especially when additional information is available to the public, such as meeting minutes and so on. So that's the guidance for the annual report. Of course, the next order of business under the new chair and vice chair will be to decide what activities the authority wants to undertake. We've been focusing on an annual report. We have in past years done a study on storage, but so that this remains in the capable hands of the chair and the vice chair. And I didn't know if the chair or the vice chair wanted to provide some remarks on further business after today in regards to the annual report or otherwise.
Thanks, Kalina. I'll keep this brief, but we had the chance to touch base with Director Davis of the Energy Department last week to discuss his priorities and ways that he could see the Solar and Storage Authority fitting into his overall mission at the department in his new role. He is thinking on it and hopes to have some guidance for us within, last week it was within the next 2 weeks. So hopefully within the next 7 days, just some feedback from him on elements that we can include in our annual report activities that we can undertake and recommendations and information that we may be able to provide to him in his office. So I hope to be shepherding the authority into a useful path forward for the department, working hand in glove with them on their different priorities and helping to get more solar and storage sited across the Commonwealth. I think that the presentations that we heard from First Solar and a number of different utility and distributed developers at the last meeting was super helpful. I think those presentations and the minutes that Ken put together can certainly be a part of our report to the governor at the end of this year. I hope to do more of that. I think that just compiling some testimony and some opinions from industry leaders that are trying to invest heavily in Virginia would be helpful to Director Davis and the department, as well as the governor. So that's the direction that we hope to head in this. Very open to feedback and ideas from members of the authority. I think, in some ways, a shorter report at the end of the year frees up a lot of staff time and a lot of our effort. Let's condense that into some more salient pieces and some solid recommendations to accomplish our stated mission.
Can I ask at this point if it would make any sense now to get some meetings on the book for the rest of the year? Or do we want to see what comes out of Director Davis and then have Ken follow up with getting meetings on the book?
I think it wouldn't hurt to get dates on the calendar because it just gets so tough, to get quorums together. If you all can look at your calendars now and decide on, like the second Wednesday of each quarter or whatever, I can send out some invites and see if that helps. Or we can wait.
Well, Ken, that sounds helpful. And if it's a regular time, folks can get it on their calendar as a recurring invite. You tossed out second Wednesday of each quarter. Does that strike any red flags for anybody in the group?
So what
And
would
I
the
just-
next
I just
meeting
pulled that out of
be
the
if
air.
That's the case.
Sorry, I missed that.
Who would-
Whoever spoke up.
Catherine?
I was just asking what that would mean in terms of what are the dates that you're contemplating? Is that what you're trying to do now?
Yeah.
Oops.
Would the first one then be in July, or is that too soon?
I would think if you're getting guidance from Director Davis, you might want to have a July meeting just to kind of see where that leads us.
Yeah.
So the second Wednesday in July would be the 12th.
And Ken, would you remind us, are these able to be conducted remotely on a regular basis, or do we need to have in-person meetings a certain number of times?
They need to mostly be in person. You can do 2 virtual meetings per year, but you can't do them back to back. So 2 of them can be virtual and the other 2 have to be in person.
And just for clarification, then the in-person ones no longer have the option for remote participation, or is it if you have an in-person quorum, you can remotely participate?
That is correct. You have to have an in-person quorum. You have to have a legitimate reason that meets these 4 criteria, and I can send that out again if you all need it.
Thank you.
Yours is easy. You live more than 60 miles from where we typically have the meetings, so that is a valid excuse to call in. Others are illness or having to deal with a sick person at home or.
Gotcha. Thanks, Ken. So it sounds like this July.
That is at the meetings in Richmond. Is that correct, Ken? That's what you're using as your base.
Yeah, that's typically where we have had it. Just logistically, it's easier for us, but I know there's a lot of pushback from people who have to drive long distances. I know our offshore wind development authority, they basically said, no, we're going to have most of them in the Hampton Roads region because that's where most of us live. So if there's a strong desire, I can try to find a place in Northern Virginia. But that hasn't happened to date.
Thanks, Kim. Well, I do have a conflict on the 12th, but I could move it if that works for, majority of the group.
Well,
Or
again,
in
the
general,
second Wednesday, I just pulled that out of the air. It could be the third Wednesday, it could be the first Tuesday, whatever works.
How do Wednesdays look generally for the group? Are they good or bad or indifferent?
This is Paul. They're good for me. I can move things around as necessary, so I'm not a blocker.
So Kim,
Wednesday's
what
fine
might,
with me. This is John.
say that again, John?
Yeah, Wednesday would be fine with me too.
Okay,
John.
so Ken, why don't you send out a poll for the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th of July? Those are the Wednesdays in July that are right next to the 4th, and see if we can get a quorum.
Okay, I can do that. And do we want to do the same thing for the next quarter? Do you want to have monthly meetings? I don't, it's up to you all how often you want to meet. The Wind Authority meets every quarter, so, but y'all can meet as often or as little as you want.
When is the report due?
October 15th.
All right, so we need obviously a meeting before then. And when do we actually have to get it to the secretary or to the powers that be?
That is still up in the air, but they want it as early as possible.
Okay,
Now,
And
with under these new guidelines, it may be, that might be more flexible, but in the past, they've wanted it like in September.
so that sounds like an August or September meeting for the group, right? Early September, sometime August.
Yeah, Kim, maybe in that poll, you could mention the Wednesdays in September as options for a second meeting to finalize the report and gauge folks' availability.
Yeah, I think that works. I will be out. Right now, it looks like I'll be out of the country part of the August, if we do something in August. So yeah, September works great.
Perfect.
You want to try a little earlier in September, maybe, just to get on top of it?
Yeah, I think we need to get on top of it, given our history.
Again, it's going to be a much shorter report, so
Right.
less worries there. But you want me to send something out for the first Wednesday?
Yeah, let's take a look there.
That'd be the 6th. So 6th or 13th could be two options.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I feel like we've made a lot of progress in this meeting. Is there any further discussion before I move to the public comment section of the meeting?
I wanted to suggest topics for discussion just for our report to consider. Would that be appropriate right now?
Sure.
I thought that it would be a great opportunity for us to offer guidance or best practices in line of some of the testimony we received last meeting on the difficulty of interconnection for solar and storage projects at the distribution level. I think that in general, we have an opportunity in Virginia to lead on solar and storage development, especially in light of the blocked and frankly frozen interconnection queue at the transmission level. And so I think this is an area that we could explore as the authority. And then the second is in light of the quick growing load growth for data centers in Northern Virginia. There's a lot of demand for those data centers to have clean energy. And I wanted to explore the connection between the rapidly growing data center demand and the potential for solar and storage to fulfill that need. That's it.
And Colleen, if you have any suggestions for presenters who can address those topics, that would be great.
Thanks. I'll think about it and send you suggestions.
Great.
And Colleen, this is Paul. I could work with you on that too, because I lead the New York Joint Utility interconnection technical working group. So I can bring some perspectives there too if necessary.
That would be wonderful. Thanks.
So you're our first work group.
So any further suggested topics for consideration in the shorter annual report?
Subject to Director Davis's guidance, I think it'd be really helpful to hear from local leaders who are making these decisions and permitting decisions at the local level. I want to put a pin in that, but that's something that I could certainly help put together and get a broad swath of folks who are elected at the county level to make a lot of exciting decisions.
Very good. It sounds like the annual report already has 3 meaty topics. I look forward to reading it as a civilian. All right. So any further discussion on topics for the annual report? Hearing none, we'll move into the last bit of our agenda, and we're moving with lightning speed. I'm amazed and pleased about that. Is there anyone participating from the public who would like to make a comment at this time? All right, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before we get there, Clena,
Yes,
I just want to take a moment to thank you for your leadership of the authority on behalf of the other authority members. It is a hard job that I'm starting to appreciate, but you have handled it so tactfully, and it's been a joy to learn from you and very much appreciate your help over the last number of years on the authority. So thank you so much. We will miss you, and we hope to tap on you for your expertise in the future. Thank you, Clena.
Certainly.
We know where she works.
No, it's
thank
been
you.
fun.
Thank
It's
you.
been really fun the last 8 years. So I am really looking forward to this next report. I think you guys will do a fabulous job. All
Big
right.
shoes to fill. Very big shoes to fill. Ever since I've been at the authority, you've been in the chair, and that's remarkable. And we've got a lot of work ahead of us, Skylar.
Yep, big pumps to fill.
There we go. All right. So I now stand ready to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Skylar's the first. Do you have a second?
Second. Rumi.
Who was that? Rummy?
Rumi. Yep.
Rummy? Okay. Okay. Let's go through the row. Go back to, okay. I'll say aye. Paul?
Aye.
Rumi?
Aye.
Michael Walsh? Joanne Webb? Skylar Zunk?
Aye.
Greg
I think-
Habib? Sorry?
I think Mike was on mute.
Oh, Michael Walsh?
Oh, aye.
Okay, great. Skylar?
Aye.
Greg Habib? Colleen?
Aye.
Catherine?
Aye.
Michael Herbert?
Aye.
Chase?
Aye.
John Hillis?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
John Ackerman?
Aye.
And Angela King. All right, the ayes have it. We stand adjourned. Thanks very much, everybody. Really appreciate y'all making the time for the June meeting.
Yes, I agree. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Clena.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, everyone.